We are back on the Morning Brew with Friends. We got a packed sofa here. I love this. We got my friend Roxanne Blair in, Austin Madrid, and Kendra Crooks. You guys are Jack Media, and you guys volunteered your media services with Roxanne to launch this cool thing. It's called Creative Mornings.
Yeah.
And it's a breakfast series?
Yes.
So I get croissants?
Yes, you do.
And coffee?
Yes, you do.
I love this.
And it's free.
But it's way cooler than just a breakfast thing, because I know you through Creative Startups, which is the Santa Fe's business incubator for creative business. And Albuquerque.
Yeah,
New
it's a
Mexico.
business accelerator. Yeah, and it's international too.
Right.
So yeah.
And you're bringing in companies doing that, and this kind of grew out of what you were doing in the entrepreneurial space, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's something that it's an international program, and so it happens in over 114 cities around the world. And we said Albuquerque needs to be a part of this.
Right.
And it brings together all creative types. So people in film, design. You can be,
TV?
makers, TV. You can just be a casual creative. You can just be interested in finding and exploring new ideas. And so there's a theme every month that all the 114 chapters around the world give a talk on.
What's this week's theme?
This week's theme is robot.
Ooh, I can do the robot.
Yeah, you can do the robot. Well, you'll have to come.
Right? I can totally just robot right on in.
Those lines. I don't know.
Or do I have to wear like an Iron Man suit?
Iron Man suits are welcome. Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
So what actually is Creative Mornings?
So it is. It's a breakfast speaker series. It's meant to be kind of but casual and something kind of for the rest of us, for people that share your interests. You can come meet, talk, chat a little bit, get inspired for 20 minutes. It's a casual event to kind of end your week well on a high note, and then go on and create.
I dig it. So how did you guys get involved in this at Jack Media?
Roxanne came to us part of the application process, because Creative Mornings is this large organization, and you have to apply to be a city. And so Roxanne came to us and asked if we could do the application video, which is like a big part of the application.
You had to show me how awesome Albuquerque is?
Yeah, it was. We didn't even know. We thought we knew Albuquerque was awesome, but it turned out it was even more awesome than we knew.
That's cool. We got a cool video here that we can show of this is the part of the production you guys put together for this, and it's a fun video. Oh, there's Factory on 5th. I know all these spots.
And you'll have to find the video too, because really what makes it really great are all the interviews that Kendra and Austin round up, because the people are just amazing, talking about the spirit of Albuquerque as being a creative place.
Yeah, and then you guys also do one for Santa Fe too, right?
Oh, no, Santa Fe did theirs separately.
They did their own.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys had the first Creative Mornings, was it last month in Santa Fe?
Yes, which was really exciting, because we're the first pair of sister cities that are doing Creative Mornings together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun so far.
Well, I think a lot of us are trying to bridge that gap between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. That I-25 corridor going up there is just like a wall half the time.
And there's no better way than kind of focusing on the things that we both do really well.
Right.
And so this is a really fun way to do that.
Cool. So when you guys were making the video, what was the coolest thing you found? What do you think was like the one thing that really showed the creative side of Albuquerque?
Oh man, well, I've lived here my whole life, right? Traveled a bit and then came back. But I never really knew how special it was. And one of our main goals was to get people of different age groups and demographics. And I think one of my favorites was Paul Ford, and he works a lot in the theater realm. And he just said, I forgive me for not directing the quote right, but you get stuck here in the best sense of the word.
Right.
Is
that what he said?
Right. I think that's why a lot of us call it the land of entrapment.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes on about that. You'll have to watch. But it was really humbling and awesome to see all these different kinds of people and all coming together.
Yeah, we got to interview 17 different creatives.
In 2 weeks.
And
2 weeks, that's a lot of interviews in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of editing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sure you know.
Right. That's a lot of work to put that together. And so who is the speaker this Friday?
So Alex Webb is our speaker. This is the coolest title, Associate Professor of Emergent Technology at UNM at the School of Architecture and Design.
Ooh.
So he does a lot of work around robots and people and architecture, and how we do architecture for robots. So he's really forward thinking. What does it mean? How are we going to be interacting with robots in the future, both physically and in the physical space around us?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it's like personalized medicine with the doctor earlier, and that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And like he was talking about all of us having our own DNA chips and things like that. I could imagine that
It's
launching
along
right
those
into
lines,
this.
yeah,
That's
and kind of
very
how do you
cool.
become comfortable in the future when robots are going to be maybe part of us?
That'd be I'm excited about that. I'm the guy who's like, give me like a bionic arm right now, Could we do that, I wonder?
Maybe your Iron Man suit is the first step, so.
I am in. I'm totally in. Right now it's just an Iron Man Halloween costume
Oh, okay.
with a plastic
Got
face,
it,
but
got it. We might have to amp that up a little bit.
but and who was the speaker in Santa Fe last month?
It was the founder of the Lensic, and so, Robert Martin.
Of course.
Yeah, and so he gave a fantastic talk. Last month's theme was humility. And then next month, Santa Fe will have the theme of revolution. And they have Sean Patrick, who's the really interesting.
Of course.
Yeah,
We've had Sean on the show. He's a great friend of the show.
Yeah, and so he'll be talking about kind of the recent tech scene and evolution of the startup world in Santa Fe.
That's very cool. Well, Santa Fe's growing. There is something going on up there.
Absolutely.
And they're kind of following Albuquerque's lead in the tech world and really taking off right now. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think in Santa Fe, the scene is kind of where Albuquerque was maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It seems like they're looking at us and using us as an example for a lot of this stuff.
But doing a great job of making it their own.
Right. I think there's a lot we can learn from each other too.
Of course.
And I think it's interesting because this Creative Mornings, like you said, sister cities, but they alternate. So 1 month you're here in Albuquerque, and then the next month you're in Santa Fe, and then in Albuquerque again.
Yes.
And it's every month.
Yes.
And the tickets for this thing, it will sell out. This thing will. It's free, but
it's free, but you got to get a ticket.
Space is limited.
You got to get a ticket, and that's why there's kind of a competitive RSVP system, and so it opens this morning at 9 a.m.
A competitive RSVP
well, you
system.
know, you got to get there first.
I got to knock somebody over just to get to the website.
Virtually.
So you get to the website this morning. It opens at 9?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. So get there because it's going to be at the West Bund West, right?
Yes.
And it's cool space, but it's a small space.
We're fitting 100 people in.
That's going to be packed. It's going to
be a
all
lot
of us drinking
fun.
coffee and eating breakfast together.
And then that's part of it too, is you get to see cool, creative spaces in Albuquerque that you might not pop into otherwise.
You might not, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a cool one downtown.
Yeah.
But so go ahead and get to
creativemornings.com/ABQ.
And get your tickets now because trust me, I think all the crew here is going to be there. So there's like 45 seats taken just like that. So get the Creative Mornings, get your tickets, and we'll see you on Friday. And you guys will stick around and talk a little bit more about this stuff?
Sure.
Sounds like a plan on the Morning Brew with Friends.